My name is Steve Young. My main objective will be to try to ski a little bit with you guys. Okay? I'm going to use reflective learning as my method that I'll teach you guys about our other method, which is called decision making. Okay? So decision making is it's 4 points, and I'll go through those things with you guys. And then reflective learning is 4 points. So just before we start, maybe just introduce yourselves to the. I want to think about our first part of our decision making is called the learning contract. The learning contract is it just means how you connect with the students in your group. Okay. So as you're skiing, I want you to think about maybe just list a couple of things you do that help you connect with your students in your group. Okay. Does everybody understand? And when you're going up the lift, you can maybe talk in partners. We can go maybe groups of 3 or 2, it doesn't matter. And you guys can kind of discuss about how you connect with your students. And that's called the learning contract. Let's just ski right to the lift and we'll head up. The question was, what do you do to connect with your student to build that learning contract? Why do you want to be here? That's probably a good thing to start with, right? What's another thing that you can do to connect with your students? What's a simple thing that we did right off the bat? Their names, ask the names, register what they have to go for the class. Yeah, cool. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's a good start. The first part is that learning contract, and that's ongoing throughout the whole lesson. The next part is about checking out the situation. So the situation has to do with a couple things. One, the student. Okay, like maybe they say, oh, really, my goal is to ski a double black diamond, but you look and you're like, maybe not yet. Let's build to it. So you just check the situation based on the person, how they're looking, and what their goal is. And then also the other thing we really do in Canada a lot is teach to the snow conditions. This type of snow that you have, it's going to be how you're going to develop your lesson. Cool? Let's go get our skis back under us, get a little bit of a warm up. My skiing objective. Okay, so you got the first part is the learning contract, which you're always working on. The second part is the snow conditions or the situation with regards to the people in your group in the snow. And I say, okay, well, because it's like this, what can I do to make it easier for people to ski? So when it's slow or sticky like this, I like to go on edge, right? It just makes me carve through the snow nice and easy. I don't feel like I'm losing my balance as much. But so just for now, as you're skiing, the objective is to go on edge and just put the weight on the outside foot. Tell me if when you're doing that, you feel like your skis slice through with momentum or if they get stuck a lot. That's the only question you're answering. Cool? Let's go again. The task I set, so I said to you guys, there's our decision making on one side, right? And on the other side, I'm going to be working with a method called reflective learning. And who here knows what that is and use it in their methodology a little bit?
What does it mean? Maybe we will use it and we don't know.
You think about what you're doing. Yeah. That's the basis of it. So reflection or thinking as you're doing.
All right. Maybe so everybody uses that.
Pretty much everybody, right? It's really hard to not do it actually. Once you know what it is, you're like, and then you try not to do it, it's almost impossible. So I assigned the task of putting the ski on edge, telling me, and the question was, does your ski slice through it, or are you able to maintain momentum through the arc? Was that, could you do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty much, would everybody agree? Cool. So the next part of the task now is to, when you're skiing, just be aware of the inside of the outside foot. Okay? So if you just are standing on, we're standing on a little bit of a slope, put your weight on that downhill ski, okay? And if you feel like you can feel the ball of the foot, you can feel the arch of the foot maybe, and maybe if you put your shin forward, can you feel the heel press down in the boot or not? You feel that like your heel settle? Yeah? Okay. So as you're skiing, I want you to be aware of where you are on that foot. Is it at the closer to the ball or closer to the heel? Is it in the middle? But as you're going, what place makes like where are you aiming for balance? Okay, that's all you have to answer. You probably already know the answer, but let's ski anyway. We'll go right to the bottom here. We go back up and we'll talk about it at the top. Sound good? Okay. Perfect. Let's go. We have the decision making, and I've been working with that like just teaching you guys little bits about that as I go. We're at the point where we are at the skiing objectives. In our skiing objectives, we have the technical reference, and in the technical reference, there's 4 points. One is the first one is use of the joints, ankles, knees, and hips. The second one is the turning effort is led with the lower body and the ski design. Okay. The third one is separation, allows for angulation to provide grip. And the last one is coordinated movement patterns, like basically putting all those things together to take you with momentum from one arc to the next. So those technical reference points are the thing that we use to assess skiing skills. Like we look through that lens to see where we're going to place our focus. The last part of the decision-making process is motor skill development. And when last run I assigned a task, tell me where you were on your foot. Closer to the ball, closer to the heel, or in the middle somewhere. Like we often will draw the picture of the foot, like everybody else probably does, and we think of it like a triangle. So this is the big toe, you know, working here, and toenail. You got the baby toe part, the ball, and then the heel. And so if you're, what we teach is to roll the ski. We probably say roll the ankle, but it's actually rolling the foot because the forefoot works like that, right? So at the top of the arc, what I try to do, in Canada we talk about rolling to the ball of the foot, and once you pick up the edge, you want to kind of settle, shin forward, heel down, but not like back. It's in the middle, and actually my focus ends up one bone. I don't know if you know the bones of the foot, but at the heel, it's like one bone ahead of the heel. It's kind of like where I feel my most centered. So narrow up or you can maybe try that this time. Try rolling to the ball and then setting the heel down as you're working your way through the arc. Tell me if that's different or the same as what you're already doing, and if it is different, what you thought of it. Okay? Was that how you ski typically, or is that something different? With roll the ball and then heel down.
Well, I like to focus on tracing my heel to the end of the turn.
Yeah.
But I do it by, stretching out my wrist joint.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I lean my shin backwards, so I'm more in the middle.
Cool.
But we were talking about, and I feel more like that I'm activating my muscles in my foot when I get the forces of the turn. So it's more like from the fall line that I feel the activating of the foot. I don't think about it like a pronation when I start the turn, because then I use my legs to create an inclination instead. So that's a little bit new, or another way of seeing it.
Another way of seeing it.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. This time, it's just at the top of the turn, as you go, the task will be see what happens if you feel the weight on the heel sooner. Then just tell me if you feel the ski bite in or not when you do that. You rolling, and then as soon as you feel the edge, put the heel down and tell me if you feel the ski bite into the snow or not. Cool? Let's go. Discussion about.
We are discussing with my colleague over there, shall we?
Yeah.
How much actually are we using this while we're skiing and not thinking about it?
Right. It just happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of happening, and then you go, oh, that's actually happening, right? It's something that is natural. But the reason to think about it is because when you move off of it, you go, oh, it's not there anymore. The thing I'm thinking about is gone away, and then you can move back to it with either separation or just angulation, whatever it is to put you back on that foot in the middle or the heel or the ball. It's not really that important where the individual feels. But if I watch and I see they're a little bit back, and I ask them where their target is, and it's a little bit back of center, maybe I could ask them, hey, move your target where you want to feel the middle, or where you feel like really powerful. Move it ahead a little bit, and you can maybe get an adjustment fore and aft out of it that way. Okay, so just kind of bring us back to what our method is. The first part was connecting with the student. Does anybody remember what it was called? It's L and a C.
Learning contract.
Learning contract.
Yeah.
Good job. The second one is about the snow and the people in the group, and it starts with S. What's that one? Yes.
Situation.
Bing, 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 bing. Very good. Okay. And then the
Yes.
third one was like when we start to think about our foot. Okay. And it starts with an S as well. This one, and an O. S and an O. If you're thinking about where you are on your ski, it becomes. Can everybody remember?
Skills.
Skiing objective. Wow. The last part, it starts with an M and a D. Motor skill development. And we haven't really worked with that one that much. It's more like now that we know where we are on the foot, I can watch you guys ski, and then I can choose how I want to develop your motor skills. I just haven't gotten there yet to actually assess your skiing, because you guys are interski team members, and you probably don't want to hear what I have to say about that maybe anyways. But that motor skill development is the other part. Cool? And the method that I use to teach you guys, we call it, it starts with an R. Does anybody remember what it's called? Reflective learning. And is it that's not that different from most of the countries here, but reflective learning. And the first thing I do when I create reflective learning is I assign a task, and I can ask a question. Okay, that gives people something to think about as they ski. And that part when they're skiing, starts with an R. What's it called? Starts with an R. Reflection.
Reflection.
Okay, so when they're reflecting, my job as the teacher is to actually watch to see if they're getting the result that I've been looking for. Okay, so reflection, and then down here, this is understanding. Okay, so at this point, it's my job to listen to what they understood or felt. You notice every time we stopped, I would ask the question again, and then listen to what you understood. Okay. So that's the understanding. And the last part of our reflective learning model is called varying. And if what I saw didn't match what they said, I might vary and make the task a little easier. But if it matches what I saw and what I heard I match the observation with the student, and I say, let's make it a little bit more challenging. Let's take it to some steeper terrain. Okay? Or let's do some more, maybe we take it to short turns. Or let's go a little bit faster. Not all of them at once, just one of the variables. Okay, so those are our two methodologies all in one there, kind of bringing it together. Let's ski a little bit here. Let's maybe on the pitch, that soft snow. Can you be aware of where you are on the foot with a short turn? It was pretty easy with the bigger turn, but now just be aware of the foot in a short radius turn. Come on down. Was the observation matched or not? So that's a good exercise to teach people what it's like when you match an observation. And more like, rather than the teacher imposing what they observed before, one of the things that I would encourage, let the skier tell you what their observation is first, and then match it, versus telling them what you saw. Okay? Because if you tell them, it's too risky, it's a gamble. Because if you do it the other way, if the observation is not matched, you say, I'm thinking it's too far back. But what they say, oh yeah, it was too far forward. If it's not going to match, don't do it. Don't say it. You understand what I mean? Like, if it matches, that's your chance to match an observation and high five, and then you're getting on the same page. But if it doesn't match, don't say anything. Just change your task. Make it a little easier. Make it a little clearer. The feedback is not going to come from you. If you design the task well enough, it comes from them. So the task is where the teaching is, not the feedback comes from what the person feels. How do they stay in the middle? Like, there's three major targets in there, and creating new sensation is one of them. The other one is matching the observation. And then there was one more, but I forgot what it was. But let's go back up. Anybody have any questions about what we do?
Third thing from the bottom of the chair. One was create a sensation.
Yep.
Match it.
Match an observation. And make your objective measurable. Creating tasks, and you're always thinking like one step ahead. So you think about, hey, you were too far back. Well, instead of saying that, I see it, and what comes into my head is like a solution, and what comes out of my mouth is like a task. Yeah. Try this to get the result that I'm looking for. Thank you guys. I'd like to